he does not have the money to finance your beauty upkeep. Don't come over here thinking that I'm gonna go to Sephora, get you some makeup. So I need to see you without all that because I want to strip you of all that because I ain't got it. When a man says that to you, he wants to strip you of everything. He doesn't want you to have the thought process of maintaining yourself.
Do men really prefer women without makeup because they can't afford their lifestyle? Or is there a deeper insecurity at play? In case you missed it, comedian and TV personality Jessie Woo caught a little bit of slack on social media due to a conversation she had on her podcast, Just a Couple Things.
Whenever I've heard a man say, let me see what you look like with no makeup, let me see what you look like without the hair, I feel that that man is telling you that he does not have the money to finance your beauty upkeep. Don't come over here thinking that I'm gonna go to Sephora, get you some makeup. So I need to see you without all that because I want to strip you of all that because I ain't got it. When a man says that to you, he wants to strip you of everything. He doesn't want you to have the thought process of maintaining yourself.
Let's do the math.
Now you said the first one was
because men got me confused.
Nails.
Yep.
Nails. That's $250.
Yep. $250 to $275.
Huh? And the hair is what? 4?
Hair. We taking the low end?
Yeah, take the low end.
Let's say $700 for the wig.
Houston, we have a problem.
Okay.
$500 for the wig. $300 for the install.
What? That's different?
The limit does not exist.
Yes.
Parts and labor?
That does not come with the wig. These hairstylists want their money.
$100 for
the
that?
install.
Hold on. Y'all getting ripped off, baby. I'm getting ripped off. What? $800 for that.
God damn it. You can't make this shit up.
Just in case you were...
Hold up. Whoa. You know what's funny about this? The common mantra online is remove microphones from male podcasts. However, women have been saying some dumbass shit like this for eons now. Really, modern women, you feel that the reason that men say this is because they don't have the money to buy it? What in the bird brain? What in the ultra instinct hamster is just, infinity just spinning in that head right there? What is going on here, baby? Is this the best that you can do? No, it has nothing to do with not enjoying a face full of makeup, which is not real. At this degree of makeup, it's face paint, right? There is no telling what you look like unless you are committed to waking up each and every morning at 5:30 a.m. to put a coat of face paint up on you to look like whoever it is that you want to look like. You know, if you do that, then maybe we can talk here to a degree. Oh, but wait, what if we want to go to the gym? What if I want to go swimming, the beach, trips, in the sun? Does that impact it? No, it's got nothing to do with the batwing eyelashes sticking out 4 inches from your skull. It's got nothing to do with the image that projects. It has to do with a man's insecurity of being able to finance your clown bullshit. The crazy thing is that most of these women don't even understand that their competition with putting on this face paint has to do with competition with other women putting on face paint. Again, has nothing to do with what men generally like. Men more often than not like to see your natural beauty because that's what you're gonna see at home anyway. I gotta deal with bots in my comments and women that are bots too. Fake eyelashes, fake nails, fake hair, fake height, acting like your gut ain't hanging over your belt, fake breasts, fake BBL'd out ass. I mean, oh, but you want a real man. Got it. Let's proceed.
He does not have the money to finance your beauty upkeep. Don't come over here thinking that I'm gonna go to Sephora, get you some makeup. So I need to see you without all that because I want to strip you of all that because I ain't got it. When a man says that to you, he wants to strip you of everything. He doesn't want you to have the thought process of maintaining yourself.
Just in case you were wondering, I do not agree with this mentality at all. It was actually pretty comical. Sis was dead serious though, but I'm like, for real? But the point of this video is not to drag Jessie Woo. Today we're diving into the real reason behind this debate and why it's more about our relationship with beauty than men's preferences. First and foremost, I wanted to be sure I watched the entire conversation before I formulated conclusions, because you know how social media is. We take a clip, and then we go a mile with it. Watching the podcast, I was actually cracking up. It was really funny, the conversation that they were having. That girl is a mess. But what was even more interesting is that after Jessie Woo made that statement, her guest flipped the question back on her and was like, okay, well, do you think that we should be more forthcoming with men when we are doing things to conceal our appearance? So for example, if I'm wearing shapewear, a faja, as she uses an example, should I be more forthcoming about that?
We get down to the bedroom, whatever, we touch and I'm like, I felt something hard. Next thing you know, there was a girdle on the floor. So he was wearing a girdle. Okay.
What? The guy?
A girdle.
That's
the
a
man
thing?
that I thought I had been seeing, that wasn't it. And my thing is, let me know that.
How should he have let one know that?
By not wearing a girdle.
Do you think women should tell men when they're wearing a bodysuit?
Hell no.
By the way, the content creator that we're reviewing, I'll leave a link to her video down in the description box down below. Small content creator, but I appreciate her encroaching this conversation in a mature way. One question I would ask her is, what really is it like sharing a gender with a young woman with an influence or a podcast like this that now you have to defend against? Man girdle was crazy though. I didn't know that as a thing. But let's listen to why she thinks that women shouldn't be forthright.
Men should see us in our natural state before they get in a real relationship with us. Weaveless, eyeless.
The women that men really want have upkeep. When a man is coming to you and saying that, I feel that that man doesn't really want you. That man just sees you as someone that he can strip.
That's an example of the double standards that we have with dating. We're seeking things or we're having these rules for people when we're dating that we can't even adhere to ourselves. And then we do these mental gymnastics to justify that we're being hypocritical. And no shade to Jessie Woo, okay? As I watched the conversation, it became clear to me that her viewpoint was more about insecurities and her projecting insecurities more than it was about men not having money or not wanting to finance a lifestyle.
But see, the thing is that, my G's, you must understand that identification of intelligence within someone else is actually, that's why I say, you know, feminine, supportive, intelligent, right? Like I say all of these different things in order to describe an MTR. That intelligence is far overlooked. It's far overlooked. But what I find within life is that the lower intelligence of the person, the less accurate that they are in life. And they'll come up to the conclusion of, based off of their insecurities, be projecting negativity onto you when in fact, it is their own insecurity. And I don't care how strong of a leader that you are, whether or not a leader in your relationships or a leader in the workplace, there's only so far you can take a low performer or a low IQ person. There's only but so much. They will continue to be an anchor within the situation, not because of their unwillingness, but because of their ineptness, their lack of competence.
This to me the other day, he was like, baby, I'm so happy you got over like not wearing makeup to bed. And I was like, I wear makeup to bed? And he was like, yeah. He was like,
that's how you catch a smooth boil.
For the first couple of times we slept in bed together, you was over there just,
really?
Horrific.
He's like, I'm so happy you got out of that because like, you're beautiful. Like you don't have to have any makeup. I don't care about none of that shit. But I was like, was I really doing that?
What concerns me about this conversation is that she got out of it through time, like attrition of this idea. Meanwhile, why did you not bring it up? If it bothered you as a man in the relationship, why don't you just bring that up, baby boy?
Were you?
He said I was.
Wow.
He said I was. I don't know. Maybe I feel like we would go out, we'd have late nights, and maybe I would just forget to, you know, wash off my makeup or whatever. Like, but I mean, he's right. I was doing that. Sometimes you do subconsciously do that.
First and foremost, I want to say that society has brainwashed us in the worst ways when it comes to embracing just how we look naturally. Obviously, as I record this video and as I record a lot of my videos, I'm wearing makeup. So I'm not a person who is completely against makeup. I like it. I think it's great to enhance your beauty. But women, I don't know. It's like a lot of women on social media have this mentality that you have to present yourself as a baddie. Baddie aesthetic, whether it's you enhancing your body or just wearing a bunch of makeup, going to expensive places, that is what the standard is for a lot of women. But the reality is that a lot of men do appreciate natural beauty. Yes. And I know we have conversations about who men sleep with and whose photos they like online. And that's a conversation for a different day. We have tackled that debate on my channel a couple of times. But generally speaking, I think that natural beauty is still appreciated. I don't think that it is completely out of the ordinary for a man to want to see what you look like without makeup. For one, he probably wants to make sure that the person who he's going on dates with looks the same or even remotely the same when they wipe off their face and he wakes up to them in the morning. Ladies, we talk about men hat fishing. They wear a hat all the time and then they pull their hat off and they have a receding hairline.
Meanwhile, your hairline starts mid-scalp and you've worn a wig for the last 27 years of your life. Modern women utilizing social media as a standard for anything is damn ridiculous, especially utilizing a standard based off of a site that thrives based off of advertisement. Companies want to sell you product, most of which you don't even need within your life. But how do they convince you to buy product? Well, they tap into influencers, they create culture around the normalization of whatever that product solves, and they create marketing around why it is that you need that. Whereas the standards of how you should be conducting yourself should be based off of whatever goal or result that you want within your life. If the result is the retention of a man, then depart your mindset from the lemming behavior based off of these marketing platforms and listen to the type of men that you want. What is it that they are saying about this? Let's finish up.
I think they understand that you're not gonna look exactly the same as you would when you have a full beat, but I should be able to recognize you once you take your makeup off. But I do want to dive a little bit deeper into how insecurity ties into this discussion. She was so uncomfortable with her state of being that she was going to bed with a full face of makeup on. Men, y'all might not understand, but ladies, y'all get it, okay? The feeling of going out, having a full face of makeup on and having it sit on your face for hours, it just starts to feel heavy. Like after a night of me going out, I'm like, yo, I want to wash my face. I'm like, look, I want to go home. I want to use my micellar water, however you pronounce it, take this stuff off my face, just have a bare face, be clean so I can breathe a little bit. But that just goes to show you that even when she was in a state of her relationship where she's sleeping in the same bed as her boyfriend, she still felt uncomfortable with showing her bare face. But furthermore, she didn't even remember it, right? So her mind completely pushed back the fact that she did that, or maybe it was something that she subconsciously did, that she didn't really connect the dots and see, hey, this might be an insecurity with how I look without makeup on. I understand what it's like to be there, to have those insecurities. And it's something that happens within so many women, but I think that the insecurities that we cover with makeup, it gets packaged up and wrapped on social media as being the influencer, the baddie, when actually you're just portraying a facade of yourself because you're not comfortable with who you are when you take off the weave, take off the makeup, take off the designer clothes.
This is why I tell all my G's, shoot your shot, go for it. This is why I tell all my G's, shoot your shot, don't even think about it. You outside and you see a girl that you attracted to, you think that she's damn near a 9, and if you don't go within the first 3 seconds, you begin to start to think about the rejection. You begin to start to think about, oh, woe is me. You know what I'm saying? I got to work in on myself, da-da-da. You begin to think about this. Just go over there and go say something to her. Why? Because although you may look at her as a 9, if not a damn 10, she may not look at herself like that due to her insecurities. There's many of these modern women out walking around here today deeply soaked within insecurities. Insecure I can deal with. Low IQ, I can't do nothing with you, baby.
It's crazy now because I get complimented on my skin, but I used to have really bad acne to the point where I would go to the gym and I would literally have makeup on as I worked out because I wasn't confident with going to the gym, sweating, exercising without having makeup on. I used to even go to the gym and have wigs on, okay? Having a whole wig on, sweating under this huge wig because I just wasn't comfortable with how my appearance looked at the time. Wow. I'm so thankful that one, I was able to get my skin together, but I did begin to embrace more of my natural beauty, where now makeup is something that I do on the weekends. If I'm having a day of recording, I'll put it on, but I am comfortable with going to work, doing my everyday tasks 5 days out of the week, sometimes even 6, child. Sometimes just don't feel like it, not having on any makeup. And that is okay.
For all the ladies that are watching, as well as the MTRs, there's also level to this shit as well, right? I think it's also important to put into the conversation the level of makeup, right? I can't even tell that there's makeup on her right now. To me, you could still see pores within her skin. I think that this is a healthy balance. I think if you are to use makeup, this should be the most that you're putting on where it still looks natural. Now, again, take a look at the makeup on the woman in question. I mean, to me, it looks like AI. It's too damn much. When I see this degree of makeup, my thoughts immediately go into deep insecurities. And then I'm thinking, okay, what level of insecurity is present? And how is that going to impact a relationship or just me in general?
And because I'm in that headspace, I don't really think about this as much. But there are some women out there who don't feel comfortable going to the grocery store, running quick errands without putting on makeup. And if this applies to you, or if you're just not comfortable with being in your natural state, I guess we need to ask ourselves why, right? I ask myself that too. Like, why do I mostly record with makeup on? And the answer is, I like to enhance myself. I like when people compliment me on my looks. I like that being able to get dressed up in front of a camera will likely result in beauty deals, right? Working with companies. So I see that there are benefits to it.
I'm gonna end the video right here. Guys, again, if you wanna check out her channel, link to it down in the description box down below. I hereby deem her an MTandR in training. Fantastic video. Love the way that you broke it down. And I'm happy to see that there's a side of the internet of women trying to give decent advice, decent information to a sea of lost versions of them. All right, guys, drop your comments down below. What is it that you think about this makeup discussion? I mean, there ain't gonna be no one down in my comment section that agrees with her that men don't want a woman to have makeup on because we're thinking about our pockets. Nobody thinks that in the history of ever. But what do you think about this whole makeup conversation? And I think it's important for y'all to sound off so that women do see comments like that and perhaps make changes based off the results that they want in life. Shit, I remember not too long ago, I was seeing this young lady and I just sit down and tell her, like, listen, with a face full of makeup on, you are doing yourself a disjustice. You are more attractive with no makeup on than with makeup on. And she took a step back and thought about it. Needless to say, she began to wear less and less and less, and now has adopted a lot more natural look. Still uses makeup, but very natural looking. Last but not least, join my men's self-development community. We're going absolutely up, my guys, all right? Especially you have a focus on wealth building going into the future. Up there, we're talking about the tips, the tricks, the tools in order to enhance your wealth. If you're interested, click the link down in the description box down below, beam up, and I will see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.
She belongs to the street.
Girl, don't hold my hand. You a mattress actress on the OnlyFans. Get your money, girl, but damn, how is that your only plan? What you gonna do when you get too old to strip and dance? Get up out your echo chamber screaming period and yes. You a low down dirty woman if you try to get knocked up by a high value man.